Hello, I'm Roxy Eloise, and in this video I'm going to be giving you the 5 things that I would have done differently now that I'm published.
I just came to say, I hope it's not too late, I hope it's not too late. I just came to say, I hope it's not too late, I hope it's not too late.
I just think that it is easier for people to learn from other people's mistakes. So if I share with you 5 of my mistakes or just things that I would have done slightly differently, then if you are just starting out, you can avoid all of these things that I done and you'll be ahead of the game before you've even started. So number 5, we go to number 5 and work our way up to things that are like even more important. This one is something that it worked itself out, so it's not major, so that's why it's like at number 5. I would have got a UK publisher. This is number 5 because it's like the least important because everything worked itself out. But there was a time during the lead up to my book launch where there was some complications, and I was like, oh, I'm from the UK and I chose American publishers. I chose it mainly because I thought I'm from the UK, so I can do all the work here in the UK that I need to do to get my book established, and they're from America, so they've got everything that they need to do in America to get it established in a different country. That was one of my reasons where I thought, oh yeah, amazing, I would definitely love an American publisher. But during the lead up to my book launch, we was trying to get my book on a UK bookstore. It's not something that they have in America. And I mean, I say that I could be completely wrong. Well, we have Waterstones here. I don't think you have Waterstones in America. And Waterstones here, they like supporting British publishers, even small press, and mine was from America, and we had a bit of a challenge trying to get my book listed on their website. They wanted a UK office address, but it all sorted itself out. So at the time I was thinking, oh, this is something that I didn't anticipate, and I would have possibly gone for a UK publishers. But now it's all sorted itself out. I'm still back to where my original thoughts. Number 4 would be I would have started my social media earlier. So when I first started, I'd written my whole manuscript, and that took a year before I even started up my Twitter and or my Instagram for that matter. I would have started my social media earlier because it is only with time that you can grow your following. So I would have definitely started my social media as soon as I decided that I was going to write a book and being an author was going to be my career. I would have started my social media then. I would have started it straight away. People say that social media doesn't like reflect in sales, and they don't really even know why they have social media, but social media is so good for so many different things, so many different other different things, not just sales. People need to stop focusing so much on sales. When you write a manuscript, you need beta readers to read your manuscript and let you know whether there's any confusion, and they really help improve the manuscript. It's so important to have somebody else read it first before you submit it to your publishers. And only way I have found beta readers is through social media. Good reads as well, actually, but the main way is through social media. You also, before your book is published, you need ARC readers. They are early readers who will get a free copy of your book in exchange for an honest review before, like when the book comes out, so you can start your book launch with reviews. So they're like early access readers, and the only way I found my ARC readers through social media. My ARC readers, I had like you can build up like a connection with your ARC readers, and they can ask you questions when they're unsure and stuff. And I've had that. I've had many ARC readers drop into my DMs and ask me questions. And if I had gone through NetGalley, I think is one of them, and Library Thing, and we did go through that route also to find ARC readers, but my ones that I found through my social media, they could reach out to me and ask me the questions they needed. The writing community is so valuable on these platforms, and I use them all the time for advice. So it's really invaluable. Literally, the support that you get off of them, the advice you can get off them. If I ever need anything being answered, I can post it onto my Twitter and I'll have an answer within minutes, literally minutes. And I've heard some writers moaning about having like social media, but if you are genuine, you do get sales from your social medias. I originally started it because agents were asking me how big my following was, and I didn't have a following. That's why I originally started it. So if you are genuine and you're not just chasing sales and you build connections with people, it does reflect in the sales eventually. So if you are moaning because you are not getting sales through social media, it's because you're just chasing the sales. Just make connections with people, use it for the support and the advice to keep people updated on your journey, and it will reflect. So yeah, if I had have started my social media earlier, I would have had a bigger following. Number 3, I would have written another manuscript, a first manuscript, before I wrote my big idea. When I had the dream for the Guidal, I knew it was my big story idea, and I don't think I'll ever have a story as big as the Guidal, and it is my first ever manuscript. So there are some cringy lines in there. When you write a manuscript, by the time it comes to writing your second manuscript, you are just so much more natural at it. It's less forced. You're not concentrating on grammar because you've already learned how to do it in your first one. So you're quicker at it. You're more natural at it, and it shows in your writing. When I was writing my first manuscript and I was brand new at writing, I was like try-hardy, and I was using really long words and just like thesaurus crazy, because I'm looking for all these synonyms that were a little bit more complicated than basic ones, because I wanted it to reflect in my writing to show that I could write and I was a good writer. And my second manuscript, I was cutting them words out. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I writing that? And I would change it and put the basic one in it. Yeah, I know what that word means now, but you don't need to use it. Just because you know that complicated word, you do not need to use it. So if I had have written my first manuscript, a different story first, I would have learned all of these things. So the Guidal, like my big story idea, could have been of a higher standard. I wouldn't have these like cringy things in my manuscript, which is now a published book, which I can't change. So luckily, only my first book has been published, and I've written 2 manuscripts. I'm on the third one, and I could go back and edit them cringy moments out of my second and my third manuscript. Number 2, this one major for me, absolutely major. Number 2, I would have planned for my book launch way earlier. I found a website that gave me some kind of schedule of when to start looking for ARC readers, when you should be contacting bookstores, all these things, and I followed it. It was wrong. Earlier, the better. So I got so stressed towards the lead up to my book launch, because I felt like I was running out of time, and I was running out of time. I could not find a venue, and what I learned whilst during the lead up to my book launch is people, they take ages to get back to you. So where you're thinking you could just wait a day and you'll get a reply, it's not like that. They take ages. and then maybe a week or two later you'll get a reply, and it will still not be like a conclusion to, and it's still like, oh, I need to talk to this person, so then you're left waiting even longer. I was waiting for other people to contact me, so although my timing was fine and I thought I was ahead of the game, I really wasn't, because I was waiting on other people to get back to me. So make sure you contact people way before your book launch. 6 months, I would say. 6 months. I got, in the website that I read, it was like 3 months. It's just not long enough. I run out of time to find a venue for my book launch. I wish I had planned it sooner. I kind of wish that, because I couldn't get, there's hardly any bookstores in my area, so I couldn't get a bookstore. And I got offered the library in my old secondary school, but I didn't have enough time to plan that event, and now I kind of wish I did. I think for my second book, that's probably what I will do. I will get a venue where it's ticketed, and I will then make some entertainment and some food and stuff, and just get some like-minded people together to celebrate the launch. I think for my first book, you're not an established author, so a book signing probably won't be the most successful event. Only close friends and family will be the ones to come and see you. But yeah, in my case, I couldn't even get in the stores because I wasn't established. So I think for sure I would have, if I started planning my venue way earlier, then I would have had time to realise, okay, I'm not getting a store, I can do a plan B, but I ran out of time. So yeah, I would have been planning my book launch a lot sooner. Number 1, finally, the last thing that I would have done differently, I would have improved my first 3 chapters in my manuscript. I thought that they were good, and I did get a lot of beta readers on them, and now in hindsight, after getting ARC readers and reviews, I'm getting a few people saying that it's a little bit slow. I get people that say they've got into it straight away and they don't think it's slow, but I have had a few that saying that it's slow. So I read the first page of the Hunger Games just to compare them, and I can see where I've went wrong now. I can see where I went wrong. The Hunger Games literally grabbed my attention in the first page. So I would have changed my first 3 chapters, and I would have written them differently. And that's it. My 5 things that I would have done differently if I could have gone back in time, or knowing what I know now, what I would have done differently. And hopefully you can learn from them if you're just starting out and you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. If you learned something from this video, then please give it a thumbs up for me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post, it's supposed to be every Wednesday, but I've been very busy and it's kind of been every other Wednesday, but I will go back to every Wednesday, so sorry for the gap. I really enjoy making these videos and I love my YouTube. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you in the next one.
I just came to say, I hope it's not too late. I hope it's not too late. I just came to say, I hope it's not too